Hey guys, Matt here, and boy is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War a roller coaster of a game. In my review video I did a few months ago, I told a lot about this game already. How the single player is a fun, chaotic nostalgia trip on one hand, and an underwhelmingly short nostalgia cash grab on the other hand. How the multiplayer took the fast pace, gunsmithing abilities and live service model from the Modern Warfare reboot and made it work just as well for a Black Ops game, but also still implemented the skill-based matchmaking everyone hates and a very small roster of weapons, game modes and maps. How the Zombies mode is a very welcome return to form, with it being a bit more toned down than its predecessors, but still with enough variety to make it enjoyable, but also holding your hand so much that it takes away from the challenge. Long story short, for every pro there's a con in this game. And after returning to this game for the first time after making my review video, my opinion unfortunately hasn't changed. Upon first starting the game, it looked like this. It crashed twice, multiplayer keeps lagging, whatever I do to fix it, theater mode doesn't work on PC, and so many hackers. On top of that, crossplay still doesn't work as well as it should.
You will know.
And out of nowhere, the game decided I wasn't allowed to play the Zombies mode unless I bought the game first, which, you know, I already did. But despite all these problems, look at everything they added to the game. In the 3 months since its release, they added new weapons, new game modes, new maps, new skins, a completely new Warzone map. They ban like 1 million hackers every single day. You can say whatever you want about this game, but you can't argue that the steady flow of new content isn't admirable. But this video is not about the game itself, but about everything that is hidden within it. And luckily, the developers haven't been slacking on the amount of Easter eggs, secrets and hidden details in this game either. So without any further ado, this is Easter eggs I should have searched for months ago in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. And this time, I'm only 3 months too late. I'm making progress here, people. Starting off with everything I could find in the campaign. It's no secret that this game borrows heavily from previous Black Ops titles, both for the nostalgia aspect of it all, but also because this is a continuation of that story. So let's start at the beginning. There are so many similarities to this game and Black Ops 1. The first thing you'll notice is that just like in Black Ops 1, in between missions you'll still remain in first person. The difference of course being that in that game you were tied up into a chair, and here you're able to walk around the briefing room. As most of you know, it was possible to walk around in Black Ops 1 as well. When getting out of your chair in that game, you were able to find a computer. Typing in DOA made you unlock Dead Ops Arcade, the top-down zombies minigame that was introduced in that game. However, you can also type in Zork. This will unlock the 1979 text adventure game Zork. Now why am I showing you this? Well, walking around the briefing room in Black Ops Cold War, you'll find a locked door. To open this door, you'll have to use the code 112263. Which by the way is the day JFK got assassinated. Going into this fenced off area, first of all you'll find an arcade cabinet, but more on that later in this video. But you'll also find a computer here. On this computer you can play, you guessed it, Zork as well. Moving up to the mission Echoes of a Cold War, and of course you'll find enough references here to the first Black Ops game, since you're literally revisiting this secret Soviet base on Mount Yamantau. Not only will you find bodies pierced by crossbow bolts, and will you break the walkway even more than you did before, but you'll also find this reference to the first game.
Huh. Crossbow bolt.
Looks like Hudson had some fun here.
Yeah, that's not how he remembers it.
The numbers you see here were of course used as a broadcast to wake up sleeper agents in the United States in the first game. Main protagonist Alex Mason being one of them. Continuing through this mission and you'll find a keychain.
Wonder what this opens.
Walking back a little bit reveals a weapon locker containing a picture of a man. This man is Friedrich Steiner, crazy Nazi scientist and one of the main antagonists in the first Black Ops game. Next to the picture you'll find the Redeemer. There is one other place in the campaign where you can find the Redeemer. It's hidden behind a painting in the mission The End of the Line. Next up is the mission Brick in the Wall. And speaking of this mission, yes, that name is a reference to the Pink Floyd song. In fact, there are other missions which could possibly be references to songs as well. For instance, Europe's The Final Countdown, the Traveling Wilburys The End of the Line, and The Doors Break On Through. But it could also just be a coincidence. Anyway, let's get back to the mission. In this mission you'll find yourself in eastern Berlin. When making your way across the rooftops with Adler, you're supposed to take pictures of a man called Kraus. However, you can also take pictures of this man who's getting his car searched at the checkpoint. But I think the only lethal thing they will find in his car is obesity. Upon entering a bar where you're supposed to meet an informant, first take a look at this sign on the counter. Germany of course wouldn't be Germany without its beer, but these ones are kind of special. Of these beers, which translate to Dragon Malt, Dragon Breath and Frostbreaker beer, the second one is kind of a familiar name, since the Dragon Breath shotgun was introduced in the Black Ops series as well.
I got eyes on that club. You got NBA all over the north.
The mission Red Light Green Light takes place in a huge Soviet bunker somewhere in Russia. Upon entering the facility, you must make your way through without alarming the guards. What you definitely shouldn't do is trigger the alarm yourself.
Time. No arguments here. What the fuck, Bell?
The big twist in this level is that the bunker turns out to be a training facility in which they remade a small American-looking town, complete with cinemas, record shops, smooching teenagers, and an arcade hall. In this arcade hall, Woods falls in love with a mannequin.
Not a fucking word, Bell.
But you can also find several different classic Activision arcade games like Pitfall and Grand Prix. In fact, throughout the game you'll be able to find several of these arcade cabinets, which you can all collect and eventually replay in the briefing room. You know, in the fenced off area we talked about earlier. Going back to the mission, you'll find a familiar fast food restaurant. The Burger Town restaurants were at this point not known for their appearances in Black Ops games, but actually for appearing in the Modern Warfare series. Lazar also seems to be a big fan. Anyway, in this Russian reimagining of Burger Town, you'll find Bubby, company mascot and true American patriot. Push his buttons long enough and he'll give you a present.
You won! You look like someone who loves fast food.
I've actually already discussed the next Easter egg in my review video, so I'll go through it a bit quicker. In the mission Desperate Measures, you're tasked with infiltrating the Lubyanka building, where you get to meet former Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev, one of the Black Ops series main antagonist Lev Kravchenko, and Modern Warfare's main antagonist Imran Zakayev, making this the first crossover between the two series. Fun fact, you'll choke him out in an elevator.
Elevator conversation always gets awkward.
Moving on in this mission, you'll find information on sleeper agents on a computer. However, you can also find information on Mount Yamantau, which we discussed already, and information on Nikita Dragovich, main antagonist of the first Black Ops game. In his file, it says that he died in 1968, which seems about right. The mission Break On Through is a direct copy of the mission Revelations in the first Black Ops game. However, it's also a reference to the movie Jacob's Ladder. This movie is about a Vietnam War veteran who has to deal with mind control and mental disorders throughout the movie, just like in this game. For the last Easter egg in the campaign, we'll go to the side mission Operation Chaos. To unlock this mission, you'll have to find several pieces of evidence throughout other missions. Upon entering this mission, you'll see a gas station. This gas station is filled with snacks, one of them being Dr. Monty's chocolate. Dr. Monty is a returning character in the zombies part of the game. You'll also find real-life products like Doritos and Mountain Dew. Fun fact, these are the actual packages these products had in the 1980s. But that actually got me thinking. I mean, there is a beer brand called Henrik's, which is obviously referencing Heineken, yet it's not actual 1980s Heineken. Why would they actually use Doritos and Mountain Dew in a Call of Duty game? What do Doritos and Mountain Dew have to do with Call of Duty? I don't know, man. If you were paying attention, you could have also seen the following pamphlet, which promotes a drink called Double Tap. This is of course one of the perks you can use in the zombies mode. Finally, the last campaign Easter egg is just around the corner. Here you'll find a poster with what looks like a zombie arm. The movie, Nightmare Summer, is directed by a man called Willard Wyler. Call of Duty fans might know him as the secondary antagonist in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare zombie mode. Now moving on to the multiplayer of the game, and just like in the campaign, there's a lot here. Starting off with the fact that if you host a private lobby, this happens. It's not really an Easter egg, it just looks stupid. Anyway, when playing on the map Cartel, you see a house called the Menendez House. People who played Black Ops 2 might know this name from the main antagonist, Raul Menendez. Inside the house you'll find a picture of Raul hanging on the wall. Next to the picture you'll find a paper headlined Jose Luis Menendez, the hero of the town, with a note asking Jose for use of his global trade routes in exchange for the release of one of his allies. Moving on to the bed, you'll see a dead body lying there holding a picture. The man on the bed is actually Jose Luis Menendez himself, father to Raul and Josephine Menendez. The picture he is holding is of his daughter Josephine. His death was not shown in Black Ops 2, but it was however seen in the PS Vita game Black Ops Declassified. In the final mission of this game, you're tasked with killing a much younger looking Jose. Even though the way he died here is a lot different to how he presumably died in Black Ops Cold War, the date and location of these missions is the exact same, being May 21st, 1982. Next up, on the map Miami, you can find this beach sign. When the beach is open normally, there are no problems, but when the beach is not feeling well, it's recommended to not swim loudly or angrily. Finally, when the beach is closed, this person called Bob is apparently the only one who can still go. On the same map, you can also find an actual working diving board. The map Crossroad takes place in a snowy area in Uzbekistan. This mission has a nice reference to one of the most memed moments in Call of Duty history. When getting near the train rack on this map, you can see your location changes to
Train go boom.
Nuketown is a map that has been around since the very beginning of Black Ops and has gotten remake after remake after remake, and of course, in this game it's no different. However, just like in any other Black Ops game, this map has been filled with secrets. First of all, the most obvious one. Shooting off all the mannequins' heads will always trigger something in every version of the map. In this game, it triggers one of two different filters. One is this green and black wireframe sort of filter, which made me think of Little Mac, and the other one is this synthwave sort of filter, which fits in perfectly with my channel. I especially like the second one, but I guess that's not a surprise if you look at my channel. Next up, you can see this fridge in the backyard of one of the houses, which contains a hat. This must be a reference to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, in which Indiana Jones hides in a fridge to shield himself from an incoming nuke. Yes, it's just as stupid as it sounds. If you take a look at the mailboxes of both of the houses, it says two things. One of them reads Side B, and the other one reads Perseus. Perseus, of course, being the main antagonist in this game. In the garage in one of the houses, you'll find this on the wall. First of all, on the right side you'll find a little note saying, "We've come to remember our best friend, Dave Dooland." I don't know who this is, but I've been told that this is a friend of one of the developers and he lost his life due to COVID-19. But I can't confirm that. Now taking a look at all the other things that are hanging on this garage door. On the left you'll see a picture of the original Nuketown map. In the middle you'll see a huge map pointing out Side A and Side B. But what does this mean? Well, if you go to the Nuketown sign, it has a little sign on it saying Side B. Okay, so that must mean we're at Side B right now, but where is Side A then? Well, if you look in the distance you can see a huge crater in the ground. This is supposedly Side A, and supposedly the side of the original Nuketown map. Moving on to one of the newer maps, Game Show. This map takes place on the set of a game show, obviously. Outside you'll be able to find the set of a western, which is not really hidden, it's just a nice detail. But inside, take a look at the name of this game show. It's called What Do the Numbers Mean? Of course, being a reference to Black Ops 1's campaign, where the numbers play a huge role in the story. The final Easter egg is not found inside a map, it's actually a whole map. The Pines is a new map which takes place in a huge mall. This mall is called the Mall at the Pines. This mall is a reference to the Twin Pines Mall from Back to the Future. It's on the parking lot of this very mall where Marty first reaches 80 miles an hour and travels back in time. So might there also be a DeLorean here or something? Well, I haven't found it yet, but it could definitely be here. Going inside the mall and making your way up to the CD store, you will find a wall filled with fake albums. These albums can be found throughout all of the game, but you can see them nicely lined up here in this CD store. These albums are references to actual real-life albums. For instance, Pink Floyd's The Wall and The Dark Side of the Moon, an album which hugely resembles the art style of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, and the guy that looks a lot like Jim Morrison. If there is anything I'm missing here, please let me know in the comments. And finally, it's time for the Zombies mode, which is known for all its Easter eggs and the absurdly intricate ways to trigger some of them. Be sure to invite some people over in order to trigger these Easter eggs, because that will make finding and triggering these things a lot easier. That's exactly why I got help from Dennis.
Oké, ik ben onderweg.
First of all, throughout the map Die Machine you can find 3 cassette tapes. Finding all of these will trigger an exclusive song you can only hear in this map. The second Easter egg can only be triggered by opening the Dark Ether, pack-a-punching your weapon and going into the medical bay. Here you'll find 4 buttons. Shooting all 4 of them with your pack-a-punched weapons reveals a 5th button. Shooting this one as well will make this huge hand appear. This actually turned out to be a little minigame. Killing 50 zombies with this hand will give you a special reward. However, good luck getting those 15 kills. The zombies behind you won't stop spawning, so you'll have to take care of them while you're playing this game. And I wasn't able to do that. Last but not least, probably the most well-known Easter egg in this game. Inside the particle accelerator room, again after going into the Dark Ether and pack-a-punching your weapon, you'll be able to find 5 shining orbs. Shooting all 5 of them will trigger...
Oh, net met mega mannen. Wacht, je hebt die 4? Ah, het gebeurt al. Nice.
This is of course the coffin dance meme. Doing this also rewards you with a loot chest which sometimes contains a legendary weapon. And that's everything I could find in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. I probably still missed a lot, and since there is still new content coming out for this game, a lot will still be added. If you know of anything else, let me know in the comments. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and you can like and subscribe if you like this video. And of course I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!